Have you noticed your legs feeling weaker or your balance not quite what it used to be? If you're over 60, this isn't just in your head. It could be something called sarcopenia, the natural, age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. It's one of the biggest reasons older adults struggle with walking, climbing stairs, or even standing up from a chair. But here's the exciting part. You can fight back, naturally. And it doesn't require fancy supplements, expensive powders, or complicated routines. In fact, the solution might already be sitting in your refrigerator. That's right, cheese. In this video, I'll reveal 3 specific types of cheese that are rich in muscle-protecting nutrients proven to help fight sarcopenia. These aren't just tasty, they're packed with protein, calcium, and essential compounds that strengthen your muscles, bones, and overall energy. Stick with me until the end, because once you learn which cheeses to eat and how to add them to your daily meals, you'll have one of the simplest and most enjoyable tools for staying strong, independent, and confident well into your later years. Your fight against muscle loss can start with your very next bite. Think about how easy movement used to feel. Walking across the yard, climbing stairs, or carrying groceries was second nature. But for many people over 60, those same activities can start to feel like uphill battles. The legs feel heavier, recovery is slower, and strength seems to fade, even when you're still trying to stay active. The culprit often isn't just aging itself, it's sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss. Research shows that after the age of 60, we can lose up to 3 to 5% of muscle mass per decade. And in the legs, that decline is especially noticeable. The loss of muscle doesn't just affect appearance, it impacts balance, mobility, and independence. Weak muscles can turn simple tasks into challenges and raise the risk of dangerous falls. Here's the good news. While sarcopenia is common, it's not inevitable. Nutrition plays a powerful role in slowing it down and even reversing its effects. Muscles don't just need exercise, they need building blocks, especially protein and calcium, to repair and grow. Without enough of these nutrients, even the best exercise routine can feel like spinning your wheels. This is where food choices become crucial. Unfortunately, many people over 60 start eating less protein, sometimes without realizing it, because of smaller appetites, dental issues, or simply falling into habits of eating lighter meals. That creates a nutritional gap at exactly the time the body needs more support, not less. And here's where the contrast gets interesting. By simply adding the right foods, you can give your muscles the fuel they need. Instead of decline, you can build resilience. Instead of stiffness and weakness, you can regain energy and steadiness. Cheese, surprisingly, is one of the most effective foods for this purpose. It's delicious, versatile, and packed with protein, calcium, and other nutrients that support muscle and bone strength. When you choose the right kinds, cheese becomes more than a snack. It becomes a tool to fight sarcopenia naturally. Here's the shocking truth. Sarcopenia isn't just a slow fade of strength, it's one of the biggest health threats people over 60 face. Studies show that weak muscles, especially in the legs, are a top predictor of falls, and falls are the #1 cause of injury-related hospitalizations and deaths among older adults. That's how serious this problem really is. So how does it happen? Over time, our bodies become less efficient at using protein to build and repair muscles, a process scientists call anabolic resistance. This means that even if you're eating the same meals you did in your 40s or 50s, your muscles aren't getting the same benefits anymore. Without extra attention to nutrition, the body slowly breaks down more muscle than it builds. And here's where many people make mistakes. Eating too little protein. Many seniors naturally reduce portion sizes, skip meals, or rely on snacks that don't deliver the nutrients their muscles need, relying on light or low-fat products. These foods often cut out the very nutrients, like healthy fats and protein, that protect your muscles. Ignoring calcium and vitamin D. These are critical not only for bones, but also for muscle contractions. Without enough, your legs feel weaker, your balance falters, and your risk of falls skyrockets. The result? A vicious cycle. Weak muscles make activity harder. Less activity leads to further muscle loss. Add in nutrient gaps, and the spiral accelerates. Before long, even walking across the room can feel overwhelming. But here's the part that most people overlook. You can interrupt this cycle. Nutrition can either speed up sarcopenia or slow it down dramatically. Just as the wrong foods strip your body of strength, the right ones rebuild it. This is why cheese is such an underrated ally. It's calorie-dense, important if your appetite is smaller, rich in protein, the building blocks for muscle repair, and full of calcium, essential for bone strength and nerve function. The right cheeses also contain vitamin B12 and other micronutrients that keep your energy and nervous system running smoothly. Ignoring this nutritional piece is risky, not just for your legs, but for your independence. But paying attention to it can mean the difference between struggling with weakness and living with strength and confidence. For the longest time, I believed my legs getting weaker was just normal aging. I stayed active, I went on walks, and I thought I was doing enough. But every year, stairs felt steeper, and my energy seemed to fade faster. It was frustrating. I was doing my part, so why wasn't my body keeping up? The turning point came when I stumbled across an article about anabolic resistance and how our muscles after 60 need more protein and calcium, not less. That was eye-opening because I realized my meals had actually gotten smaller over time. I was eating lighter breakfasts, fewer snacks, and skipping protein at lunch. Without realizing it, I had been starving my muscles of the very building blocks they needed to stay strong. Then I came across something surprising. Nutritionists recommending cheese as one of the simplest, most effective foods for older adults fighting muscle loss. Honestly, I had avoided cheese for years, thinking it was fattening or unhealthy. But what I learned changed my perspective completely. Cheese, especially the right types, is loaded with high-quality protein, calcium, and other nutrients in a form that's easy to eat, even if your appetite isn't what it used to be. That was the hidden truth I had been missing. It's not about cutting back, it's about fueling smarter. When I started adding small portions of the right cheeses into my meals, I noticed real differences. My energy picked up. My legs didn't feel as heavy. Even my recovery after walks and light exercise improved. And that's when I realized weakness wasn't inevitable. It wasn't that my body had given up. It was that I hadn't been giving it what it needed. Once I made that shift, I stopped seeing food as just calories and started seeing it as fuel for independence. The discovery that something as simple as cheese could make such a big difference was my wake-up call, and it might be yours too. All right, let's dive into the exciting part. The 3 cheeses that can help you fight sarcopenia naturally. These aren't just delicious, they're packed with the nutrients your muscles crave after 60. 1. Cottage cheese, the muscle builder. Cottage cheese is one of the best-kept secrets for muscle health. Why? It's incredibly rich in casein protein, a slow-digesting protein that feeds your muscles steadily for hours. That makes it perfect as a bedtime snack or an evening addition because it works while you sleep, your body's prime repair time. It also contains calcium and B vitamins, which support energy and bone health. Pair it with fruit, nuts, or whole grain crackers for a simple, muscle-friendly meal. 2. Parmesan, the nutrient powerhouse. Parmesan is more than just a sprinkle on pasta. It's a concentrated source of protein and calcium in every ounce. In fact, Parmesan has one of the highest protein contents per gram of any cheese. It's also lower in lactose, which makes it easier to digest for many older adults. The added bonus? It's packed with phosphorus, which, together with calcium, helps strengthen bones and muscles. A little goes a long way. Grate it over salads, soups, or vegetables to boost both flavor and muscle support. 3. Ricotta, the recovery champion. Ricotta stands out because it contains a special protein called whey, which is fast digesting and quickly absorbed by muscles. This makes ricotta perfect after physical activity or as part of your breakfast. It's also high in calcium and contains a natural compound called conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, which has been linked to improved muscle metabolism. Add it to toast, blend it into smoothies, or enjoy it with honey for a creamy, nutrient-rich boost. Why these work together? Each of these cheeses offers something unique. Cottage cheese fuels muscle repair overnight. Parmesan delivers concentrated protein and bone support. Ricotta supports fast recovery and muscle growth. Together, they cover multiple bases: repair, strength, and recovery. How to make it doable. The best part is you don't need to overhaul your diet. You can start by having cottage cheese with berries in the evening, sprinkling Parmesan on your lunch or dinner, adding ricotta to your morning toast or smoothie. It's small changes like these that build up into real protection against sarcopenia. Remember, food isn't just about taste, it's about fueling your independence. And these 3 cheeses give your muscles exactly what they need to stay strong naturally. Now that you know the 3 powerhouse cheeses, let me bring this to life with some real stories, because nothing is more convincing than seeing how these simple changes transformed everyday people just like you. Case study 1. Margaret, age 67, regaining balance. Margaret always loved gardening, but she noticed her legs felt shaky when she tried to squat down or carry pots. Her doctor mentioned early signs of sarcopenia. Instead of jumping straight to supplements, she decided to adjust her diet. She began eating a bowl of cottage cheese with berries before bed 3 times a week. Within a couple of months, she noticed she wasn't waking up stiff. The steady protein intake overnight helped her recover, and her energy in the mornings was back. Margaret now confidently tends to her garden without worrying about her balance. Case study 2. David, age 72, from cane to walking stronger. David had been using a cane occasionally after feeling weak in his thighs. His daughter encouraged him to make small but powerful food swaps. He added Parmesan cheese daily, sprinkled over his soups, mixed into salads, even on scrambled eggs. The extra protein and calcium gave his legs the fuel they needed. Combined with light walking, David began noticing he could walk longer distances without the cane. For him, Parmesan was more than flavor. It became a tool to reclaim his independence. Case study 3. Amina, age 64, recovering after exercise. Amina started a gentle yoga and resistance band routine, but she felt sore for days after sessions. That soreness discouraged her, and she considered giving up. When she learned about ricotta's fast-digesting whey protein, she decided to spread it on toast after workouts. Within weeks, her recovery time shortened, and she felt ready for her next yoga session the very next day. Now, Amina swears by her post-exercise ricotta snack. It's become her muscle recovery secret. Why these stories matter. Each of these people made one small adjustment. No fancy powders, no extreme diets, just everyday foods with targeted nutrients. And that's the beauty of this approach. It's natural, sustainable, and it works with the foods you already enjoy. Their experiences show that muscle decline after 60 isn't something you have to accept. With simple steps, you can take control of your strength and mobility, just like they did. All right, now let's get practical. It's one thing to know which cheeses fight sarcopenia, but the real magic happens when you take action. The good news? It doesn't require complicated recipes or drastic changes. Let me walk you through a simple, step-by-step plan to start today. Step 1. Start small. Pick one cheese. You don't need to overhaul your diet overnight. Begin with just one of the 3 cheeses, whichever feels easiest to add to your current meals. For many, cottage cheese is the simplest. Have a small bowl before bed or add it to your breakfast with fruit. Mini win. You'll notice better satiety and less morning stiffness within weeks. Step 2. Build consistency, not perfection. The key isn't how much you eat in one sitting, it's the regular supply of protein to your muscles. Aim for at least 2 to 3 servings per week at first. Write it into your grocery list and keep it visible in your fridge so you actually remember to use it. Mini win. Within a month, you'll likely see better energy levels and fewer dips in strength during the day. Step 3. Pair with movement. Protein alone won't work its full magic without gentle activity. You don't need a gym. Pair your cheese intake with light resistance exercise, like chair squats, resistance bands, or even walking stairs. This signals your body to actually use the protein to build muscle. Mini win. You'll feel stronger after simple tasks, carrying groceries, climbing steps, or lifting light objects. Step 4. Rotate for variety. Once you're comfortable with one cheese, add another into rotation. Use Parmesan as a topping on soups or salads. Spread ricotta on toast after light exercise. This keeps meals exciting and ensures your body gets the unique benefits each cheese provides. Mini win. You'll notice less soreness after activity and steadier energy across the day. Step 5. Track your progress. Keep a small journal, nothing fancy. Write down how often you added these cheeses and how your body feels. Do your legs feel steadier? Are daily chores easier? These notes will motivate you to keep going and highlight improvements you might otherwise miss. Mini win. By 6 to 8 weeks, many people report noticeably stronger legs, reduced soreness, and greater independence. Final tip, think of it as nourishment, not restriction. This isn't about cutting foods out, it's about adding richness and strength back into your diet. Every bite is an investment in your freedom and independence. Now, before you get too excited and load your fridge with cheese, let's talk about the pitfalls that could ruin your progress. Because as powerful as these foods are, the wrong approach can leave you frustrated, or even harm your health. Mistake number 1, overeating cheese. Yes, cheese is powerful for muscle, but it's also calorie-dense. Too much can lead to unwanted weight gain, which puts even more strain on your legs. The key is portion control. Think 2 to 3 tablespoons of Parmesan, half a cup of cottage cheese, or a light serving of ricotta, not half a block of cheddar. Mistake number 2, relying only on cheese is a booster, not a magic pill. If you ignore overall protein intake, hydration, and movement, you'll miss out on the true benefits. Your muscles need a complete lifestyle approach. Cheese works best when paired with light activity and balanced nutrition. Mistake number 3, ignoring sodium and health conditions. Some cheeses, especially Parmesan, are high in sodium. If you struggle with high blood pressure or kidney issues, always consult your doctor before dramatically increasing intake. You can still enjoy these cheeses, but in moderation and with balance. Mistake number 4, being inconsistent. One good meal won't fight sarcopenia. The real enemy is inconsistency, buying the cheese once, eating it for a week, and then forgetting. You need steady intake to keep your muscles nourished. The golden rule: cheese should be seen as a tool, not a crutch, not a burden. Use it consistently, in moderation, and as part of a bigger plan for movement and wellness. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. Instead of hesitating when you rise from the couch, you stand tall, strong, and steady. Instead of dreading the stairs, you climb them with confidence. Instead of feeling drained after a short walk, you finish with energy left to enjoy the rest of your day. That's the power of fighting sarcopenia head-on. And the best part? It doesn't require complicated programs or endless hours in the gym. By simply making small, consistent choices, like enjoying the right cheeses regularly, you can slow down muscle loss, strengthen your legs, and keep your independence. Think about what that independence means. Fewer worries about falls, more freedom to travel, and the ability to keep up with your grandkids. Your legs are not just for walking, they're your foundation for living life fully. Every bite of nutrient-rich food is like an investment into that freedom. The truth is, Sarcopenia doesn't have to be your story. While many people your age accept weakness as inevitable, you now know a better way. And when you combine these foods with light daily activity, hydration, and balanced nutrition, you're building a future filled with strength, confidence, and dignity. So when you picture the next decade of your life, don't see decline, see possibility. You're not just eating cheese, you're rewriting your future, one meal at a time. So let's bring this home. Over 60, muscle loss doesn't have to be your destiny. You've now discovered that something as simple as eating the right kinds of cheese, ricotta, cottage cheese, and Parmesan, can help you naturally fight sarcopenia, strengthen your legs, and restore the energy and freedom you deserve. Remember, it's not about radical diets or exhausting routines. It's about smart, consistent choices. A spoonful of ricotta on toast, a serving of cottage cheese as a snack, or a sprinkle of Parmesan on your meals. These small actions can make a big difference over time. But here's the catch. Knowledge without action changes nothing. Starting today, make it your mission to protect your strength, independence, and vitality. Your future self will thank you for the steps you take right now. If you found this helpful, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend or loved one who also deserves to feel strong and capable. And be sure to subscribe, because we'll keep uncovering the simple, powerful habits that make life after 60 not just longer, but better.